Hello, good morning, everyone. So I hope everybody has done with the task. So what was the problem?
Yeah, I did it, right?
Yes, tell me.
But it did not see any changes, right? I'm able to ping 2.2.2, 3.3.3.
Mm-hmm.
Eigrp was stable. I don't know whether it's a software related bug or something wrong, but everything was stable at my end.
Okay, Darshan. Okay, what about others, guys? Balaji?
Yeah, sir, I think when both routers had the same router ID, on router 2, there was no route for 1.1.1.1, even though that was advertised by router 1.
Okay, what about router 1? The update about router 2? So I designed this topology, right? We had R1. So we had R2. And we had R3. So 1.1.1.1 is the loopback /32. This is 12.0 /24.1.2. This is 23.0 /24. And we had a loopback. On R3 also, we had a loopback. Correct? Now, if we set the router ID is the same around one, let us consider. So router Eigrp. Let us consider the ASN 1, 2, 3. So router ID 1.1.1.1. On R2 also, I went and created the router Eigrp ASN and Eigrp router ID, and then advertise the directly connected networks. That is 192.168.12.0 and network 1.1.1.1. And on R2, so it will be 192.168.12.0 and network 168.23.0 and network 2.2.2. Yes. So Darshan told it will work normally. What about yes? What if is the problem?
Both have adjacency, but didn't have the
Adjacency is there. Okay.
didn't have that loopback.
Okay. So routing information was not exchanged. Yes. What about it? Same.
So routing was
Okay. Yes, Govind.
Same as the and there will be no issue, but routing will not be shared to R2.
Okay, routing information was not set. What about others? Yes, Kavana, Magalingam, Mainak, Manoj.
Sir, today only I came to Bangalore. I have to try today only because I'm in for my business.
Okay. What about other?
So overall is might be iOS related issue for my laptop. So routing information won't be exchanged,
Yes.
right?
So I'll just quickly show you in the lab. So what will happen if I set the same router ID? Will not be shared. Good. So now let me show you this lab. So we'll take 3 routers. Yes. Okay, man. So between R1 and R2, so the network will be 192.168.12.0/24. And between R2 and R3, it is 23.0. So on R1, the loopback will be 1.1.1.1/32. On R2, it will be 2.2.2.2. And on R3, it will be 3.3.3.3. So all are in the same autonomous system number 1, 2, 3. So wait for the console. So you need to set the router ID on R1. Dot 1.1.1. Now R2 also need to set the router ID as 1.1.1.1. R1. Interface is reversible. IP address will be 92168.12.1/24. Gotcha. We have a loopback address there. It is 1.1.1.1/30. So enable EIGRP. So router EIGRP 120. So EIGRP router ID will be 1.1.1.1 and advertise the directly connected networks. That is 192.168.12.0 and the loopback. And no automatic. This is the configuration on R1. So go to R2. So when you host name will be interface 0 The IP address will be 192.168.12.2/20. And interface 0 IP address will be 192.168.23.2/20. Loop back 2.2.2.2/32. Done. So now router Eigrp 123. Sorry. Set the Eigrp router ID as 1.1.1. Advertise the directly connected networks. That is 192.168.12.0 and 192.168.0 and the loop back as well. Done. So now go to R3 and do the same. Interface is 0%. IP address will be 192.168.23.3/20. Loop back 0 will be 3.3.3.3.3/32. Router Eigrp 123. Eigrp router ID 3.0.3.3. Network 192.168.23.0 and network 3.3.3.3. Not a second. So if you talk about the adjacency, with the same router ID, adjacency will be fine. If you go and check on R1, show IP Eigrp neighbors. No adjacency, correct? If you check the routing table, this is the part. Can you see here? I am only able to see 3.3.3.3, but you will never be able to see the 2.2.2.2. Why? Since the router ID is the same on both the routers, they will not exchange the routing information. Clear? It is not a neighborship criteria, but in order to exchange the routes between R1 and R2, you need to have unique router ID, but it's not a neighborship criteria. Whereas if we talk about OSPF, it is a neighborship criteria. You need to have unique router ID on both the routers, that is R1 and R2. Otherwise, even they will not form the adjacency as well in OSPF. But in Eigrp, they will form the adjacency, but they will not exchange the routing information. Clear? I hope everybody is clear.
Same at R2 as well.
Yes. So please go and check R2's routing table. Show IP route Eigrp. Can you see? There's no 1.1.1.1 network here. Yeah. Any doubts, guys? With the same router ID, will not be able to exchange the routing information. Clear? Please make a note. So with the same router ID, we don't have any problem with the neighborship, but there is no exchange of routing information. Done? Okay. A neighborship will be there, but they will not exchange the routing information. Clear, Manak? Okay. Now, so in the same lab, we'll see how to do summarization. So yesterday we discussed about summarization. So why we require summarization? Yes. Why we need summarization? Yes. Shorten the routes, or we can say reduce the size of your routing table. Then what? Less CPU usage. Then link flaps. Very good. Link flaps will not affect neighbors routing table. So one more point, less memory. Okay, now. So today we'll see the lab. So one more doubt I have. Please clear this lab. Let us consider we have R1, we have R2, we have R3, and we have R4. So let us consider 4 loopbacks on R1. We have 172.16.0.0/24. We have 172.16.1.0/24. 172.16.2.0/24, and we have 172.16.3.0/20. So what is the summary? 0.0 slash, what is the slash value? No, what is slash value?
240.
Subnetting. It's opposite of subnetting.
Superlating.
How much?
It's
I want the summary of these 4.
It's 172.16.0.0.
No, 248 or 240.
248. Very good. What is the block size of 248? It's 8, right? So where I have 8 routes, I have only 4 routes. Then what will be your subnet mask? Subnetting. /21? No. /21 you will have a block size of 8. Yes, guys. Tell me. So tell me, for block size 4, what is the subnet mask?
We need 3 bits.
30. That is for class C. Correct. You are right about 30. But that is for class C. What about /24?
192.
/22. Very good. What is the block size of /22? It is 4. So it is 0 to 3. So we can summarize this block into 172.16.0.0/22. How 22? Subnetting. Okay. So now let us consider R1 has advertised this summary address to R2. So now R2 will advertise it to R3, correct? So now R3 will advertise this summary address to R4. R4 will advertise to R1, correct? Now what is happening? What is forming here? A loop. Now how R1 will avoid the loops? Any idea? It's a loop, right?
It will block one side network.
Which network?
It will block one side block.
Means what you're saying? Like R1 address to R2, R2 to R3, R3 to R4.
R1 to R4 will get blocked.
It will block, but how? Correct. Your answer was right. R1 will now never allow this what is say summary address to install in the routing table. But how? STP router. STP is yes.
Sir, R1 when it advertises to R2, it will also advertise to R4, right? In
Yes,
both.
even same line. Let us consider here.
Right.
Same loop. Yes.
Yeah. So now when it gets from R4 again the same, it's the loop.
Loop is forming, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking. How R1 will avoid the loops? So now, as soon as you create the summarization on R1, it will create a null zero route. So what do you mean by null zero route is, it will be having an entry 172.16.0.0/22. So it will create this null zero route in order to avoid loops. Please make a note. And the AD value of this null zero route is 5, just to avoid the loops. So R4 when advertises to R1, R1 will never allow this entry to install in the routing table with the help of null zero route. So on the router where we do summarization, let us consider I summarized on R1. So R1 will create a null zero route. So why it creates? Just to avoid the loops. Very important question for the interviews.
Sorry. How to avoid loop in Eigrp? Come again? I didn't get it.
So on the router, let us consider we went and summarized on R1. So on R1, it will create a null zero route. I'll show you in the lab. We'll go and summarize on R1. So R1 will create a null zero route just to avoid the loops. It will have an entry of the summary address. So as soon as R4 sends this information to R1, R1 will just check its routing table. So in the routing table, since it has an entry for null zero, what do you mean null zero is, it is just used to avoid the loops. And the AD value of this null zero route is 5. Clear? Now, so let me go to the lab. Let me use the same topology. So let us consider we have 4 loopbacks on R 0.0/24, 1.0/24. 172.16.0.0/20. Sure, help section. Let me create 4 loopbacks. I have one loopback already. So default to show IP interface. Interface loopback 0. The IP address will be 172.16.0.1/24. Let's go back one will be 172.16.1.1/24. Let's loop back to IP address will be 172.16.2.1/24. Interface loop back 3. 172.16.3.1/20. So show IP interface brief. So we have 4 loopbacks here: 0.1, 1.1, 2.1, and 3.1. Now, let me advertise these loopbacks. So router Eigrp 123. So network 172.16.0.0.0.0. Enter. So let me go to R2 and change the router ID. Sure. 560. Eigrp router. Router 2. Show IP route. Yes. There is it. I have 4 loopbacks. 0.0, 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. Check the routing table of R1. Show IP. So it has all directly connected networks: 0.0, 1.0, 2.0, and we have 3.0. So now we'll do summarization on R1. Now how to do that? So you need to go to interface. Interface name. The command is IP summary -address. Then you need to configure Eigrp and the ASN value. That is 123. Then summary IP and summary mask. What is summary IP? It will be 172.16.0.0. Now mask. What is the mask? 255.255.252.0. Correct? /22. If you're not clear with subnetting, you will not get this. It is /22. Okay. So what is 255? 255 is all 8s. All 8s. What about 252? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct? What is 128? Please calculate this. 16 plus 8 plus 4. How much it is? 6 bits are on, right? How much it will be? 250, right? That is a subnet mask. Clear? Anybody has any doubts in the subnet mask? Yes, online guys. Any doubt?
But Chetan, you advertise in the network statement only 172.16.0.0.255.255.
I use wildcard mask, right? Wildcard mask, wildcard mask. So what I advertised is, I went to R1, I used the network statement 172.16.0.0. Then I told first 2 bits must match. It should be exact. Then I told third bit can be anything, and fourth bit can be anything between 1 to 254. Can you see the third bit? Third bit is changing, right? 0, 1, 2, 3 here. Correct? That's a told 255.255. Wildcard mask. Or if you want to advertise 4 loopback separately, you can do that as well. But you need to use 4 network statements. One for 0.0, one for 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. So instead of using 4 network statements, I used the wildcard mask. I hope that part is clear now. Enter. Now, if you go and check on R2 and R3, show IP route EHR. Can you see? We have a single entry now. Done. So instead of 4 separate entries in our routing table, so we have a single entry now. Clear? And go to the R3. Check. Show IP route EHR. So we have a single entry. Clear? Now, if you go and check on R1, R1 will create a null zero route. Just to avoid the loops, show IP route. Can you see what R1 has created here? Null zero route. Why? Just to avoid the loops, and the AVD value of null zero route is 5. So 2 key points to remember. So on the router, you do summarization, it will create a null zero route. Why? If they ask in the interview, just to avoid the loops. And what is the AD value? AD value is 5. Clear? Anybody has any doubts?
But how it helps to avoid the loop? When these routes are local to the router, right? Which we
Yes.
are just.
That's what I showed you the example, right? So let us consider we have one more router. So you need to do this lab. So this is your task. So take this as a task. Connect 2 routers here. Same topology. R1, R2, R3. Take R4 and R5. So connect R1 to R5 here. Now check whether R5 will be able to advertise it to R1. Because of null zero route created on R1, it will never allow this, what to say, a summary IP to be installed in the routing table of R1. So this is your task. So you have to submit it by Sunday. Sundays with the screenshot and how it will avoid the loops. Even you will understand that as well.
So means overall is once we on the router where we do the summarization, right?
Yes.
There is a null route comes.
Yes.
And
why? Why it will create? Just to avoid the loops. So you will understand when you configure this topology. Take the same ASN number. So take the IP as 192.168.34.0/24. So please finish the task before Sunday.
that null zero concept is only in the EHRP, right?
In the OSPF as well, wherever you do summarization, even in the BGP as well.
Okay.
Everywhere it will create a null zero. So you'll understand. Just create this lab. So just have 5 routers. Then you'll understand why it creates a null zero route. It's a task. Please submit it by Monday.
Let me note down the topology one.
Yes, sure. Okay. Note down the topology. I'll come.
Sir, this route summarization is it's opposite of no auto summary command, right? Meaning, if uh, uh, like if like in previous versions of EIGRP, if we did not do no auto summary, I think this will happen, right?
Went outside. Can you wait for a minute? They went outside.
Oh, okay, okay.
What will happen if we don't do the summarization?
Sir is not there. He went out. Could you
Your
please?
voice is less.
I think Chetan stepped out. So
Okay, okay.
He's here. You can ask him.
Yes. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, what will happen if we don't do the summarization?
Nothing will happen. If you don't do the
No,
summarization,
then
4 routes will be installed in the routing table of the neighboring router, right? If you go and check on R2 here, please go and check on R2. So
no,
before
no.
this, yes.
How about the loop part?
Loop part? Why there will be a loop? Tell me first of all. Because how
No.
EIGRP calculates based on the K values,
Yes,
right? Based on the bandwidth and the delay.
yes.
So let us consider the same topology. Okay. So now how it will calculate the best?
Okay, so okay, got it. So it will got only one route. Okay,
Yes, right.
got it, got it.
Simple as that. Based on the bandwidth and delay, it will calculate the optimal. So this is your task, guys. Please submit by Sunday. Yes,
sir, and
and check whether loop will happen or not. Just go to router 1 and check whether it will install. But say what will be the next stop? What you need to check on R1 is what is the next hop for 172.16.0.0. You should not have 2 entries there because it will form a loop. You need to have a single entry with the next hop 12.1. 12.2. Sorry. Yeah, tell me. Any doubts?
sir, this summarization is opposite of the command we issue, right?
Subnet,
No auto summary. No, in EIGRP, we
No, see what what do you mean by auto summary is? So what auto summarization will do? Let us consider we have 172.16.12.0 slash I advertise it as 30. So what is this class? Which class IP address it is?
B.
Wait, class B?
Yeah.
So what should be the slash value?
16.
16, right? So
Yeah.
it will summarize it to 172.16.0.0/16.
Okay.
This is classful. So
Okay.
what auto summarization will do is it will summarize it to classful networks. That's why we disable it. No auto summary whenever we enable EIGRP. Why? Just to disable the auto summarization. Because I need to have a slash value of 30, not 60. Clear?
Okay. So instead, we manually summarize the
Yes.
route for
Yes.
short. Okay. Okay.
Clear? So task is also clear. I hope it is very clear. Okay, now next up. We'll go to EIGRP name mode. So 2 more topics left. So we'll be completing with EIGRP. So EIGRP name mode. So till now, what all we have discussed, it is about classic mode. So now, first question is why? Why they came up with name mode? Anybody has any idea? Why? Yes? Why? Anybody can guess anything like that? Why name mode? Why we require this mode? Because we have classic mode. We can advertise the networks. So they will advertise to the neighboring routers. Everything is working fine. Now, why name? So now, so why we require the name mode is, let us consider about classic mode. So what we used to do, let us consider, I want to advertise the networks. So I'll go to router Eigrp, ASN, I use the network command and the IP, correct? So I want to do authentication. What I need to do? I need to go under interface name. So IP, authentication. First, you need to tell the mode, correct? Eigrp ASN, then MD5. Then you need to attach the keychain. If I want to do summarization, where I need to go again? Again under the interface name. So IP summary address. So Eigrp ASN. So summary IP and summary mask. Now I want to configure passive interface. Where I need to go? Under the router Eigrp. Passive interface. Interface. Now I want to configure no auto summary. Where I need to go? So the problem with classic mode was the commands, some commands you need to execute under the Eigrp ASN and some commands you need to exit under the interface. But with Eigrp name mode, it will support all the global configuration and interface configurations under name mode. And you can execute this name mode globally. Interface configurations under name mode. Means now you need not to go for authentication and summary under the interface. So you can just enable it globally, everything. So router Eigrp, let us consider, I want to use the name as Cisco. I'll show you in the lab. So address family, this you need to configure. And you can execute all the commands inside this name mode. Even the interface commands, even the global configurations commands. So Eigrp name mode is supported after the iOS version 15.1. Please make a note. If your router is above 15.1, it supports name mode. Why? Because you can configure everything under a single is no 15.1, yes. After iOS version of 15.1. Add one more key point to remember, your classic mode and name mode are compatible. So if I enable classic mode on one router and on another router, if I enable name mode, they both are compatible.
So the answer why we use the name mode, because it support all global configuration,
Yes,
right?
under a single name. So now you need not to go to what is say interface name and configure this authentication and summarization. Now you can go under just router Eigrp Cisco and you can configure everything. Even your what is say under ASN, under the process what you used to configure and under the interface what you used to configure, you can configure one under one single name mode. Clear? Now how to do that? Just quickly show that. So we'll go to same lab. So let me quickly disable Eigrp on R1. I told you classic mode, named mode are compatible. So no router, Eigrp 120. Enter. Now, how to create a name mode? It's router, Eigrp, question mark. Can I see here what is the word here? You can use any name here. It need not match on both the routers. It can be different. That doesn't matter. Clear? So let me use a name, Cisco. Enter. Now you need to specify the ASN now. Now you need to go under address family. Question mark. It supports both address families. But in classic mode, please make a note. Classic mode supports only IPv4 address family. But your name mode supports both IPv4 and IPv6 address family. So don't ask what is IPv6. That will come in the next step. What I want to repeat? What you want to repeat? So I told like in classic mode only IPv4 is supported. IPv4 addresses. Whereas under name mode, you can specify what type of address family you want to use. If you want to address family IPv4, you can use. If you want to use IPv6, you can use IPv6. Clear? Now IPv4. Now you can mention the autonomous system, and this must match. So autonomous system, what is autonomous system number? 123. Enter. So network. Now I want to advertise this. Directly connect networks. Just advertise 192.168.12.0. Enter. The network 172.16.0.0.0.255.250. Enter. Now, so if you go under topology base, you can do these many configurations. Enter. You can enable auto summary. So we have discussed about distribute list, filtering. You can do filtering here. If you want to change any metric, you can even redistribute here. You can use summary metric. We discussed about the timers. You can change the timers here, and even you can change the variance for unequal cost load balancing. You can do these many configurations under the topology base. So under the process, what we were doing, you can do under topology base. Clear? Now, so what all the configurations we were doing under the interface? This is another mode. AF interface, let us consider 0%. Enter. So these are the configurations you can do under the particular interface. Add path. If you want to configure authentication, you can go under the AF interface name, and you can configure authentication, hello interval, hold time. If you want to configure passive interface, split horizon. Can you see here? This is summarization. You can directly go under the interface and do. Let us consider you want to summarize. Direct summary address. What is the summary IP? And summary mask. Enter. If you want to perform authentication now. Authentication question mode. I told you in name mode it supports both MD5 and HMAC SHA. Question mark. Can you see? It supports both MD5 and HMAC SHA. Please make a note. In classic mode, it only supports MD5. In name mode, it supports both MD5 and HMAC SHA authentication. Question mark. You can just create a password here. Cisco, enter. So now a mismatch. Why? Authentication must match on both the routers. Now you need to go to router 2, but router 2 doesn't support SSH HMAC until and unless you go to the named mode. So before configuring HMAC SHA, you need to make sure that you are configuring name mode, because in classic mode, we don't have HMAC SHA configuration, authentication type. Only it supports MD5. I hope this part is clear. So anybody has any doubts with name mode? So everything you can configure globally. Anybody has any doubts? Sleepy? You can wash the face. No, right. You're feeling sleepy? Okay, fine. No problem. Any doubts, guys?
No, no.
Okay, all right. Now, the final topic with Eigrp is Eigrp Stub. So I'll not be showing the lab, but I'll tell you the concept. So if you're enrolled for CCI Enterprise, you will do the lab in CCI Enterprise. No, sir. Okay, fine. So final concept of Eigrp is Eigrp Stub. So I'll tell you the concept, why we require this, and what are the flavors of Eigrp Stub, and what Eigrp Stub will do. But lab you will see in CCI Enterprise. Now, what do you mean by stub? Again, let us consider we have R1, we have R2, we have R3, R4. Let us consider R1 are the headquarter routers. Both are headquarter routers, and these are branch routers. Let us consider we have a loopback /32. Clear? Now let us consider this loopback goes down. Now what router 1 will do? Let us consider we don't have a feasible successor. It will start querying on all the interfaces. It will send a query here. It will send a query here. It will send a query here. And this query is again forwarded to R4, because every router will send a query. So for query, you will get an acknowledgement back. Why? Why we get acknowledgement back? Wait. Why we need an acknowledgement back for query? Yes, online guys. Yes. I'm expecting an answer. Why for a query we need an acknowledgement back? Why? Yes, Magalingam. Prashant. Govind. It is reliable. Very good, Manoj. Very simple, right? Why we expect an acknowledgement back? Because query is a reliable packet. Please go through the previous videos. So why we expect an acknowledgement back? Because query is an what? Reliable packet. Clear? Now it is sending a query. Somebody has replied. Any update in the routes? I didn't get you, Prashant. Any update in the routes means? Why we get an acknowledgement for updates? No, Prashant. Since query is a reliable packet, we expect an acknowledgement back just for reliability. Now, so this query is again forwarded here, again forwarded on this. So now my question is, why R1 should query to branch routers? Branch routers are not connected to any other routers. Can you see where R3 will send the query? These are the end routers, right? So why R1 should simply send a query here? Why R2 should query to R4? Correct? We don't have any routers connected to R3 and R4. So in order to limit the number of queries in our network, we configure Eigrp Stub. Why? Just to limit the number of queries in our network. Correct? Why you should query to R3? Because R3 is not connected to any other router. Correct? You'll not get an answer as well. You'll not get a reply as well. Correct? So you need to configure Eigrp Stub on the end routers. Why? Why we configure Eigrp Stub? Just to limit the, it is used always on the end routers, or we can call it as edge routers. Just to limit the number of queries in our network. Number of queries. Limit the number of queries in our network. Clear, right? It's true, right? Why you need to configure, what is say? Why you need to inquire the branch routers? So once you configure Eigrp Stub on R3 and R4, so R1 will never query to R3 and R4. It will only query to the R2, just to limit the number of queries. I hope this part is clear. So the lab part we'll see in.
Means it once we enable the Eigrp Stub on the R3 and R4, the query message will not go to the R3
Yes,
and R4.
yes.
Only it stays with R2.
Yes.
So what will be the advantage?
Again, you are saving your CPU and memory, right? Correct. So lot of queries, right? Once this loopback goes down, there will be a query everywhere, right?
So this is related with the updates, right? If any update or what?
Yes, yes, yes. Let us consider. So my consideration here is there is no successor and feasible successor. If you have a feasible successor, what it will do? It will just take the backup path and it will route the traffic. So my consideration is I don't have a feasible successor. Then what it will do? Then it will start querying, right? It should query, right? It should get a best path to reach to 1.1.1.1. That time, my question is why it should query to R3 and R4? Because these are end routers. Because no routers is connected to R3. That's why we implement Eigrp Stub, just to limit the number of queries. I hope this part is clear. So lab you'll be seeing in CCI Enterprise. This is a CCI Enterprise topic, not CCNP also. Just brief description. I hope
So
this part.
Eigrp is completed,
Yes, Eigrp is complete.
but there is something related with the offset as well. Will not that be covered?
Offset lister.
Yes.
Offset list is used to increase the metric. Okay, I'll talk about offset list as well. No problem.
Yeah, just to I know it's to manipulate it.
Manipulate.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just talk about that. It's my cassette. I showed you. Which one? Authentication. This is clear. Anybody has any doubts? Any doubts in this stuff? No doubts? Clear? Okay. So I'll talk about offset list in the next class. So let me give you a quick introduction. We have a few more 15-20 minutes. We'll just discuss about OSP. No stuff. OSP. I'll discuss about offset list. Don't worry about offset list. It's just used to increase the metric. So open, shortest, It's a small topic. I'll just show you that lab as well on the Monday class. Open shortest path first. So how everybody are familiar with OSPF? So now tell me, what type of protocol is OSPF? Is it a distance vector? Is it a link state? Or is it a hybrid? What type of protocol it is? If link state, why? If distance vector, why? And if hybrid, why? Because it is taught in CCNA. I think CCNA you have OSPF, yes. Protocol number, yes, Mainak, you are right. Protocol number is 89, that is fine. But my question is whether OSPF is a distance vector. Somebody has answered. Or it is a link state. Link state. Why? Correct. Link state is 100% right. So OSPF is a link state routing protocol. So why we call it as link state? So this is again your task. Why we call OSPF as a link state? Let me know on the Monday class. So as Mainak said, the protocol number only based on bandwidth we can see. You are somewhat close, Mainak. Please check once again. I'll let you know on Monday. So it is a link state routing protocol. So you need to answer me why we call it as link state. First thing. Then the protocol number on which OSPF works is 89. What about Eigrp protocol number? 88. Good. So which layer of OSPF works? Is it application layer or network layer or data link layer or physical layer? So my answer is physical layer. What do you guys think? Which layer it works? Yes. OSPF.
Network.
Network. Okay. Yes. Vinod. Which layer? Application layer? Yes, Atira. Choose from 7 layers. No? Okay, what about others? So few told network, few told application layer, transport layer. So
Layer 3 only, sir.
layer 3, okay. You are telling layer 3, you are telling layer 4, you are telling layer 7. I told layer 1. See my answer here. I am layer 1 guy, man. So I need to attach the cables. Yes, now where your OSPF works. So the answer is network layer. Layer 3. Why? Why network layer? It's a protocol, right? It's a routing protocol. What is the routing protocol does? What is the work of routing protocol? To find the optimal path to reach to the destination. Which layer does this? Network layer. So wherever you see protocol number, it works under network layer. Other than TCP and UDP. TCP and UDP are the only protocols works at transport layer. Anything other than that, wherever you see protocol number like GRE, so I think hope advanced people know this, 47, OSPF, 89, Eigrp, 88. What about ICMP? What is the protocol number of ICMP? And why we require ICMP first of all? You people use ICMP a lot. How? Ping, very good. What is the protocol number? Good. So ping is a protocol that uses ICMP. What is the full form of ping?
Packet internet gopher.
Okay. So why we use ping? Yes, why we use ping? Daily we use, right? Ping. Go to router 1, go to privilege mode and use ping. Why ping? Yes.
Checking connectivity of two
Very
devices.
good. Checking the connectivity, and ping uses the protocol ICMP. Now my question is, what is the protocol number of ICMP and in which layer ICMP works? Yes, guys.
ICMP protocol number is 1.
Very good. Very easy to remember. It is one. Which layer of OSI? Again, network layer. So these are few of the protocols that work under the network layer. So when I'm asking you protocol number, it comes under network layer. Very good. Very good, Mainak. Mainak, right? Yes. So link state, you need to tell on Monday class. Why we call it as a link state? And why? Eigrp, I told you why we call it as distance vector. Because it calculates the best path based on the distance, that is number of hops. And what do you mean by vector? Based on the direction. So like that, you need to say what do you mean by link state. The next point. So if we talk about Eigrp, what is the algorithm it uses to calculate the best path? It is dual algorithm. What about OSPF? Any idea? We call it as Dijkstra algorithm. DijkstrA. Dijkstra's algorithm. Or in simple words, we call it as SPF. SPF algorithm. Shortest path first. Dijkstra. So K is silent here. We call it as Dijkstra. Dijkstra's algorithm. J is silent. Spelling you check. Don't ask me spelling. I know what Dijkstra. It is Dijkstra's algorithm. Or you can call it as shortest path first. So what about RIP? Which algorithm? It is Bellman-Ford. Please make a note. So if anybody asks what is the algorithm that RIP uses, it is Bellman-Ford. Just for the interviews. Bellman-Ford, Bellman-Ford, Bellmanford. It's not Ford. Bellman-Ford. You know, Manak, it is Bellman-Ford, not Bellman-Ford. It's Bellman-Ford. Manford. This is the algorithm that is used by RIP. We don't use RIP, but still. Next one. OSPF works on the area concept. Again, this is a task. Why? Why OSPF works on the area concept? You need to answer on Monday. So two tasks. One is link state routing protocol. Why we call OSPF as a link state, and why OSPF works on the area concept.
And Chetan, I asked in the start of the batch, right?
Yes, I will come back to that. I'll come back to that. Avoiding
Yes.
loops, right? I'll come.
Yes. Why always area 0?
Yes.
We can use other area.
Yes,
too.
yes.
Why?
But that is what I say. It's already it's a hard written rule that area 0 we call it as a backbone area. There is no why we can what to say, for everything there is no why, you know. So let us consider I used area 1. So area 1, let us consider I used area 0 here, and we have area 2 here. So in order for the area 1 routes, to exchange between area 2, it must be connected to backbone area. It is a rule. Why we use only area 0? There is no answer for that. Why we make area 0 as a backbone area? It's a backbone area. Backbone means you need to connect to area 0 in order to exchange the routes between two different areas. Why? For everything, you can't answer why. Correct? Why my name is kept as Chetan? My parents
Okay.
did that. Correct, Darshan?
Okay.
Correct, right? For everything, there is no why. But yes,
So we can say it's a hard coded.
Yes. It's a hard written rule that area 0 must be a backbone area. Even if the interviewer asks why can't area 1 be a backbone area, you can tell, sir, it's already written like that.
It's in the,
Yes.
we can say it's in the RFC. What is RFC?
Yes, you can tell. But for everything, why? Why my name is like that? It's my parents. Correct? Correct, Darshan. I hope it is clear. Okay, guys. So today we'll end up here. So I talk about offset list coming Monday. So before that, we have 2 tasks to finish. Why OSPF is called a link state and why we work on area concept. And I think I have a lab. People have a lab to do as well. So please finish it by Sunday. And then we'll have a beautiful session on OSPF. We'll start OSPF from Monday. So before that, we'll finish our offset list. Then we'll start with OSPF. I hope clear, guys. So anybody has any doubts still here? Yes? Anybody has any doubts? Online, guys? So don't mistake me. Few things is already written by Cisco or in the documentation. That there is no question for why there. If area 0 is a backbone area, it is considered as a backbone area. Why they implemented Eigrp? Cisco again. Why they implemented OSPF? Cisco again. Why this is called as a routing protocol? I can't answer that. But how that routing protocol works, I can do that. Correct? But why it is called as a routing protocol? There is no answer. Sorry for that. Correct? Clear, guys? I hope it is clear. So anybody has any other doubts, you can ask me. I'm done for the day. So have a great weekend and we'll meet on Monday, guys. Clear? Clear online, guys? Magalingam, Mainak. I hope everybody is clear with this. So please finish the task and submit it by Sunday evening. So have a great weekend. Enjoy, guys. Bye.